Hello and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder side of music and give it an honest rating. Today, we're going around the world to Singapore and examining an album by one of the pioneers of the burgeoning and bursting Southeast Asian grindcore scene. Yes, it's Wormrot with their new album Hiss, released July 8th on Earache Records. Now, anyone who knows extreme music knows of Earache as the label that helped launch the careers of bands like Napalm Death, Carcass, and Morbid Angel. Wormrot is one of their staunch mainstays, having now done 3 albums over a decade plus with the label. How'd they do on this one? Let's find out. Now, anyone who knows me knows that grindcore and I don't necessarily get along, but I must say, this album rips. Front to back, it's absolutely insane. This is the kind of grindcore I can get behind because it actually has an ear for the musically adept and interesting. I remember back in 2018 when I put Pig Destroyer's Head Cage in my top 10 album of the year list, and I was pleasantly surprised that a grindcore album actually made it there. This year, another one's probably going to end up there as well. Literally everything on this album is absolutely amazing, and it definitely deserves all the praise that it's been getting. It's harsh, aggressive, but always with that small sense of restraint that keeps it from flying completely off the handle. I love the sense of melodicism that permeates some of the songs on here. After the fury of album opener The Darkest Burden, the second song Broken Maze allows that grievous, gloomy poignancy to reign supreme. Other songs like Your Dystopian Hell, Hatred Transcending, and Desolate Landscapes have this at their core. In other words, it's grindcore, but with a terrific sense of very capable songwriting that's often kind of lost in the genre. Sometimes it's just putting random notes together with the traditional shrieking vocals. But here, we have a lot more in tune with short bursts of black metal style tremolo picking mixed with even some thrashier elements and this thunderous, really catchy blasting. I've also got to give it up to vocalist Arif Shuhaimi. On this, which is actually going to be his final performance with the band, he leaves absolutely nothing to chance. His vocals sound tortured and very emotional, but never really confused or overly saturated. They take their place in the mix very nicely, positioning themselves somewhere in the middle. They're not buried, but they're not really front and center either. That's something I appreciate because that allows some of the other instrumentation to stand forward and have their own moments. Complementary to a T, Arif's vocals are just absolutely outstanding, playing off both grindcore and black metal traditions to create a hybrid that is at once catchy and interesting and off-putting and destructive. I'm also a big fan of the way the rhythm section is held down, especially without a bass player. Normally, not having that thickness to rattle around in the background can spell a bit of disaster, but not here. Instead, drummer Vijesh Gariwala focuses on offering machine gun-style blasts and not letting anything go to waste. There's not a moment on this album where, rhythmically speaking, things feel lost or boring. Instead, it's incredibly vibrant and lively, offering something that both clings to grindcore lore and branches out just a little bit. It's not really genre-bending, but it does manage to pull off some pretty intense stuff that keeps to patterns and rhythm rather than the manic flailing that's kind of offered in other grindcore albums. Overall, I have to say, there wasn't anything I heartily disliked about this record. If I had anything critical to say, it's that some of the starts and stops to the middle of the album are a little bit jarring, but that's kind of typical of the genre at large and doesn't really reflect on this lone output. Other than that, it's terrific. This is grindcore for the musical ear at its finest, and certainly does not mirror the anti-music positions of other bands in the genre. Not afraid to explore the outer realms of thrash and black metal a bit, Wormrot have released a grindcore album to be very proud of. It gets a 5 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and do not forget to subscribe for these weekly Metallic reviews. Next time, we're heading back into the somewhat murky yet always fascinating forest of post-hardcore / metalcore as we examine Census Fail's new album, Hell Is In Your Head. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I'll see you all next time.